Hi guys, Ryu here from Blender Bros. Welcome back, and in this one we're gonna be designing this arm. So now because our cursor is in this area, we can add a cube directly to this area because new mesh is being added always on cursor. So we can scale it up, and that's a little bit too thick. And SZ, and let's see how we're looking. It's a bit too thick, kind of like that, that's cool. And then let's grab this face here and extrude it on Y. You don't want to make it too long. You don't want to make it longer than this, whole length of this bit here, I think. Something like that will do. Maybe a little bit less, less insane. Something like that, that's cool. Control A and apply scale. And now we do need to cut this, okay? So let's Shift D that, right? Right click, S, and scale it just a little bit out. SY, and scale it deeper. Control A, apply scale, select these two, and, sort of bevel them. With 6 segments is enough, right? Like that. Right click, shade smooth, and auto smooth. Shift click here and control minus. And let's see that. This could be a little bit deeper. So GY and move it deeper. Okay, somewhere here. There you go. And this one now we're gonna add a loop here. So Control R and click, and move the loop somewhere here. And then we're going to grab this and GZ and scale it down, and then here GZ up, and then select both edges and Control B, and do that. Right click, shade smooth, and auto smooth. Here the same thing, but before we do that, let's go to local view. We need to remove this edge here, so select that and F, and then select this one. Shift select this one, Control B, and boom. Now we got this going on. Cool. Okay, so now we got that. And then we need another loop here. Again, because it's an end gun, it's gonna work. So we're gonna use knife, K, C, and cut it somewhere here. A, click, space, goes through, right? Cool. And let's grab this edge here with Alt, so everything is selected. Control B to split it and scroll down, and then we're going to Alt click this and GY and move it in here, somewhere here. Grab that and GZ and move it up, okay? And then grab this and GZ and move it up, okay? Cool. Select these and F, and select these and F. And then grab these two edges with Shift and Control B and maybe 8 segments. I think 8 will do, and do something like that maybe. Yeah, something like this will do. Maybe a little bit less crazy. Maybe 6 segments. Maybe a little bit more. Something like that. Yeah. That's pretty cool, I like that. So now we need another cut, okay? So let's go here and grab a knife, C, and cut here, A, click, space. Select this one and Control B, select just this one with Alt and Control B. So like that. And then we're going to Alt click this, okay, here, around. SX and scale it in like that, okay? Alright. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this and F, and we're gonna grab this and F, and we're gonna grab these two edges and Control B and 6 segments, okay? And select everything, mesh, symmetrize. And we got this kind of a situation, which is cool. Then we're gonna grab this one here all the way around and Control B and scale down and chamfer. And this chamfer is gonna, go a long way because let's just symmetrize it. Because it's gonna catch light, it's gonna look really cool. Okay, so That's cool. You could actually cut this too here. So drop a loop inside and Control B and run it all the way here. Now watch this. Go here, loops, boundary loops, Control B one more time. Then we're gonna press E, cancel with right mouse button, Alt S, and move your mouse down with Shift to create something like this. And you're gonna get these two kind of cool grooves in here. And even if you want to, you could scale them to switch here to pivot to individual regions and SX, and you can scale them to taper them, which will make them more readable because there's going to be more shadow coming in, right? Just to add a bit more interest. Let's grab this and M cutters. Shift A, new cube, move it in here, right? SZ and scale it here and move it somewhere here, okay? And we need to make it wider so we know, we can see what we're doing. Grab this edge and GY, okay, move it somewhere here. This one, let's grab this and move it somewhere here like this. And this one should go lower, okay, so G and move it somewhere here. So now what you need to do is make sure that the distance between these two edges and these two edges is more or less the same. This kind of looks cool. Right click, shade smooth and auto smooth and Control Alt click, Control B, and then let's just apply scale one more time. Control B and 6 segments, right? And GX over here and Control minus. So that's 1. And what we need is a bevel because we can't see anything, right? So we need a bevel and weighted normal. So shift click here, Control C, copy modifiers, right? And then we need to cut it one more time because it was removed. The boolean was removed when we copied modifiers. So we're gonna shift click here, Control minus, and move this above. Now I'm doing this because I want to see. Now at the moment when you have a bevel, you can see where the shape is, okay? So M and cutters, right? Cool, that's cool. I could use another one here, like a small one, and maybe one more in here. So let's keep going. Cube. This will be extremely easy with hard ups and box cutter, but we're not using it, so we need to soldier on. We don't have it, so we need to, no box cutter, so we need to do it manually. SX, scale it, and let me see that. Let's grab this face and move it somewhere here. Select everything and move it up a bit. Select this face here and move it down a bit. And let me see if I can, do something with it that's interesting. This would be interesting, I think. Cool. Move it a little bit further away. So the distance between these edges is more or less the same. Grab it down here. Okay, that's cool. I think we go to GX, move it in here, and then, right click, shade smooth, auto smooth. Same dance, right? Shift click, Control minus, click on this shape and move it to the top. Now to make sure that the distance here of this cut is more or less, the depth is more or less the same. And of course we need to go to edit mode, Alt, Control click and bevel it, right? So, and then we need to grab this and cutters, right? How are we looking? Oh yeah, that's pretty cool actually, that's pretty cool. And I think that's enough, I mean, could have another cut here to be honest, but I might be actually too much, so I think this is maybe enough. Now we're gonna do this with a knife here, and we need to fix these connections. So K, click, click, and right click to continue cutting, and click, click, right click, and the rest is fine, so spacebar, and we can remove these two. Okay, dissolve, perfect. Actually, you know what? We're gonna remove, we're gonna remove these two, and we're gonna run a connection here and remove this because that's terrible. Okay, select everything, mesh, symmetrize. Awesome. Now select these two and Shift D, move it in here. But you see we lost the cutter, right? So what we need to do is apply the boolean. So one more time, select these two and Shift D and scale. Okay. So scale it down here. Then rotate it a bit, so make it a bit more interesting. And it's a little bit too, too small. There we go, that's better. And I think it should be a little bit higher because it's not in the middle. Kind of like that, right? Actually, it's a bit too high though. There we go. And now we need a second kind of like a, smaller arm. So, Shift A, cube, same thing, different day. Move it here, make it larger as Z, and move it somewhere here as X to scale it. All right, need to fit. And we're gonna create some cool shape here. So Control A and apply scale. We're going to, well, this is too tall, so we're gonna make it, narrower. So kind of like this, right? Okay. And let's just make this not as long. So let's go to occlude, select this face, GY, move it somewhere here. So now let's right click shade smooth and auto smooth, and we're gonna use this one as a cutter, okay? So Shift D and SX, right, to make it wider, rotate it and move it somewhere here. So we can cut it like this, Control minus, and then grab that, Shift D, move it somewhere here. And so, we could cut it here like this, right? Control minus. And this one could be a little bit deeper, like this, right? Okay, something like that. Okay, another cube, and move it somewhere here, and scale it, some more, SY. Move it somewhere here. Grab this face in the bottom, right? And SY. Kind of like this. And then GY, move it like that. This one could be a little bit further. And then apply scale and Control Alt click and 6 segments. And right click, shade smooth, auto smooth, click here, Control minus. And then we need another cutter, right? So we could technically reuse this one, but the problem is that this one has bevels, right? So we kind of cannot, but we can make a new one. So, cube, right click, shade smooth, auto smooth, and move it somewhere here. Grab this GZ and move it up. Grab that and GY and match the angle. Now it's a bit too close, so we're gonna move it somewhere here. And also this could be a little bit shorter, so we could move it somewhere here just for fun. And let's see what we could do here. This one could be a little bit different like this, This could be interesting. Scale, Control Alt click, bevel this, and Control minus. How are we looking? Yeah, we're looking pretty good. And then here, another cube, GY, SX, SY, GY, and GZ, SZ. And then SY, and then right click, shade smooth, and boolean. Cool. And this one, could be slightly interesting like this, right? So here, and maybe like this, and a little bit this way, kind of like that, okay? So sort of, angled, a bit more interesting. And we could still, run bubbles here, so but we need to apply scale, so apply scale and run bubbles, and cutter, oops, just this one, cutters, right? We can select them with B, so B, select that, shift, select these two cutters. How are we looking? We're looking not bad actually. Let's just save it. This could be another one here in the front, so Shift D, make it smaller and rotate it like that. Maybe, you know, this one could be a little bit fatter like that, just for fun. And there's gonna be the ending over there, you know, the last part, but we can do it later. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna parent these to this one. So Control P and parent. Now before we do anything, we need to apply the booleans. So, you know, apply, and apply. And we're gonna copy the bevel, so Control C, copy modifiers. And now we can Shift S, move to selected. And now we can move it. So let's move it up a little bit and then move cursor here. So Shift S to selected. Select these and then, you know, rotate it down like that. Right. And this one could be done a bit better, to be honest. I'm gonna redo this cut. You see, doesn't really follow this edge, kind of clashes. I don't know if you guys can see that. This one doesn't really work with me now. So I'm gonna fix that, okay? Also, these could go through. I think they're not deep enough, so we're gonna, you know, kind of follow them through. So what we could do is select this face and this face, right click and loop tools and bridge, okay? And this will fix it, and then we can go to select and loops, boundary loops, and dissolve them. Same here, select this, right click, loop tools, bridge, and then select and boundary loops and dissolve. And I think that's better, you know, creates a bit more airiness to this whole shape. And I'm going to cut it through as well, I think. So, you know, cube, rotate it here on individual origins, right? SZ, come on, SZZ, SYY, and SX. It's a little bit too, you know, too wide, so SYY, kind of here, GYY, maybe, right? Kind of like a cut here, like that. You could actually even taper this, you know, like this, right? So taper this, but, you know, this is fine. Grab this face, GG, move it in a little bit here. Control A, apply scale, and Alt, Control click, and chamfer, right? And then R, and, you know, right click, shade smooth, auto smooth. Shift click, Control minus. And we need to move this boolean above everything, so here. Cool. How are we looking? Always check how you're looking. If you're not cutting through some bevels or some difficult areas, you know, it's really important, right? So, cutters, right? I think that looks a little bit better, a bit more airy, you see? Just less clunky. Cool, now here, this needs to be fixed, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close it. So I'm gonna close it with machine tools. I'm gonna show you how to do it, okay? So watch, it's really easy. Select this bit outside, okay? Actually, first, let's select the one inside. It's gonna be easier. So select the one is control, okay? All these vertices inside, you need to select all of them, right? And then watch, shift 1, right? Don't worry about the mess. Select the ones outside, okay? Right, shift 1, and then go to occlude mode, select both vertices, X, and dissolve verts, and you're done, okay? Alternately, what you can do is you can go to W select, so press W 3 times, select all these verts here, okay, in occlude mode, which means you're gonna select everything, and then you can press X and dissolve verts. But, you know, you might run into problems like this, so let's just go with shift 1, and then dissolve it. There we go, that's better. Press 3 to clean it, and there you go. So, you know, you just have to play with different settings, right? Shift A, mesh, cube. Let's angle it properly here, like this, okay? And then let's grab this edge, and let's move it somewhere here. So it kind of follows here, this distance, and this one should be probably somewhere here, like this. This one should be on the same, more or less same level here. And this one can go deeper. So this one could actually follow this, the edge on the bottom, you see. So it's going to echo the angle here. That was the mistake. It's going to look a bit more elongated and more elegant. It's just a bit of a trick, you know, but it works. Also, these two could be aligned with this one, so we could just do something like this. But then again, this break here is going to be a little bit too large, this gap. So maybe this is cool. Control A, apply scale, Control Alt, click here, Control B, and you know, let's just right click shade smooth and auto smooth, shift click, Control minus. And I think this is going to be much better. So let's move it up and, you know, colors. Let's see. Yeah, this is far more interesting. Way better, miles ahead. Perfect. This one is a little bit, you know, should be somewhere here deeper. There we go. Smashing. So that works. Now with this one applied here, what we need to do is, you know, create some chamfers. So let's run them, right? So here, and, you know, select this. Now you gotta be careful with this, okay? Because, you know, this is a really tight spot here. You cannot overdo it. So kind of like that, it's fine. You see that? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. We need a chamfer here on the top as well. So let's just apply this bool tool and, sorry, I mean boolean, and let's just run chamfer here. This could be a little bit more aggressive, you know, kind of a bit more crazy. There's some Z fighting. Let's press 3 to clean it. Let's try this again. Still happening. I wonder what's happening here. This is interesting. See, like sometimes when you select something, you may make a mistake, and you're gonna you're gonna select something you don't want to select. So it's a good idea to actually walk around your shape and check if you selected everything that you want and you didn't select stuff you didn't want to select, because you might get some, you know, shading problems. You want to avoid that. So you're gonna run chamfers all over. Okay. Same thing here. We selected something we shouldn't be selecting. Let me see that. What's going on here? Let's go to local view. Let's dissolve this edge if we can. Wait a minute. Let's combine them here. One. Cool. And then let's run the bevel here, and we can symmetrize it to the other side later on. So don't worry about the left side, worry about the right side. Control, there we go, that's better. Same here in the inside. Interior could be also, you know, chamfered. So we could select that, and we could select this one. It's gonna add a little bit of a highlight here and there. Just make sure you didn't bevel something you're not supposed to be beveling. And then we're gonna select everything and, you know, mesh and symmetrize, right? So you see how this creates kind of like highlights, and sort of it's gonna catch light on, you know, on these edges. You see it looks a bit machined and refined. It's a bit of work, but it's worth it, guys. You know, it's gonna look a bit better. Same here, you know, just run a chamfer here, another one here, Control B, right, and we got some pulls here. Yeah, that's nasty. Let's just press 3 to clean it. Let's try this again. Yep, still happening. What the hell is going on here? Hang on. Whoa, there's some kind of a double edge here. Yep. Okay, that is interesting. Hang on. We need to fix this. There's an edge here going on. Let's just delete that. There we go. That's better. What the hell has happened now? Let's select that. We lost the face. And just press F. And that's that. And there's some problem here too. This is an angle problem, I think. The angle is so sharp, it's actually being beveled. So what we can do here is actually increase the bevel of, the angle of bevel to like 40, and you see you're gonna smooth it out. So If you get this kind of a problem, just do that, you're gonna be fine. So let's grab these and let's select that and select this. Control B, chamfer it. Now everything is peachy. Good. Grab this one here. Let's just go here to local view so we can see what the hell is going on. This angle here is really shallow, but what we can do is select loops and boundary loops. Here the bevel doesn't catch, so what we could do is, you know, run bevel weight on it, right? And then select this one and select mark sharp. Right click and bevel weight, and this should bevel weight everything, and we can simply change here the bevel from angle to weight. This is gonna catch this you know, this angle here. So, right, let's make it smaller and hold shift to make it a little bit bigger. Let's turn off this clamp overlap here under geometry, because the bevel is overlapping something, so it's kind of clamping, but I don't know where. It's clamping somewhere on something, and it usually blocks you from, you know, sort of running more aggressive bevels, but I don't know where it's happening. So as long as we don't see any super crazy shading problems, we're good. This one we could, you know, just run a chamfer here too on the inside. So chamfer here, and then, you know, chamfer here. It's a little bit tough to see, but Control B and just a little bit, just make sure everything is fine. Yeah, it's pretty okay. That's cool. And we can symmetrize it later. The same here, you know, just run that. Now on top here you have two choices with these angles. We can either, you know, run, you know, a bevel here, okay, or simply Control B that and, you know, do this. But before we do that, we need to remove these edges. So let me see. Let's see that there needs to be a connection here with knife. So let's run a connection here, and then we can remove this. And the same thing in the middle, although here is fine. So let's grab that now and Control B that, and, you know, let's introduce 8 segments, and then we can just simply, you know, symmetrize it. So select and symmetry, where is it? Mesh, symmetry. Cool. And similar stuff could be here on top, right? So, you know, this area here. So we see that, select that, and simply let's select both of them because it can't be bothered symmetrizing anymore. There we go. That's cool. And then what I want to do is, you know, sort of chamfer these. Either chamfer them or bevel them, I don't know yet. Let me see. Oh yeah, we need to chamfer them because this one is chamfered. So it's just chamfer them a little bit here, and then, you know, these two, right? So let's just go to local. Yeah, it's fine. And chamfer them. Now you gotta be careful with this kind of situation. So you want to one and combine it, and then you need to add weight, bevel weight here. So don't forget to do that, otherwise you're gonna have shading problems, right? So, you know, combine this here and bevel weight, right? Okay. The rest is fine. We could actually dissolve these. We don't need them. So, you know, dissolve that, right? And then here we need to bevel weight. So, boom, and sort it. And now we can save it. So, we're looking pretty decent. That's much better here. It's much better. This could be actually even bigger. But, you know, that will do. And I think we're cool. And now the last part we need to do is design, you know, some kind of like a sort of like a arm that grabs something, and some kind of cables here, some kind of capacitors, and we're done. So we're gonna do it in the next video, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.